Hey y'all, welcome to my low-level one-shot boss challenge. My name is Rob, also known as Roka, also known as Roka Souls. So what is a low-level one-shot boss challenge? It's a challenge come up with by an older YouTuber that hasn't been around in a while, and I've referenced him in my Let's Play. Went by the name Vegeta311. He came up with this challenge, and the rules are as follows. You start as a soul level 1, Pyromancer of course. It's the only starting class that starts at soul level 1. You must play through the game normally, which means no cheating, no duping, no muling, nothing like that. The items and souls that you farm for you must acquire legit. And the last rule is you must earn the right to level up. Now what does that mean exactly? Well, there's a point system to this boss challenge. If you one-shot a boss, you get 2 points. If you two-shot a boss, you get 1 point. And if you one-shot a mini-boss, you get 1 point. Now, one-shotting means one press of the R1 or R2. Whether that one press of the button does multiple attacks like Fire Tempest Pyromancy or Chaos Storm or anything like that, as long as you only press the button once, it's a one shot. Now if you've played the game before, you pretty well know what a boss is in Dark Souls. Much like the Asylum Demon, which obviously doesn't count, it's impossible to one-shot him on New Game Cycle with a bare minimum of what you got. What constitutes as a mini-boss, those are all the harder enemies like say the Black Knights, for example. Any of the stronger enemies for when you meet them in the game that don't respawn is considered a mini-boss, and there's kind of a list of them. Near the beginning, other than Black Knights that don't respawn, and you don't get to respawning ones till the end of the game anyway. Other than that, you've got Havel the Rock. Obviously, the first Baronique Knight you run into in the Undead Parish, but he is the only one considered a mini-boss because the rest of them respawn. The Giant Rat in the Depths doesn't count according to the creator's rule set because it's actually really easy to one-shot him. It's too easy. And other than that, that's about it. As far as, you know, how the format is going to go for this challenge, I'm not going to do any live commentary for it. Everything is either going to be post commentary or maybe some annotations on the screen. There's not going to be a whole lot to really talk about when I'm actually like doing the challenge. You know, everything will kind of be self-explanatory. Obviously, I'm not going to use any cheats for, you know, beating anything. Everything is going to be legit and authentic. I won't be recording too many deaths, even though this run will have its share. And as of recording this voiceover for the introduction, I've actually got some footage ready where I take out some of the Black Knights, and believe me, I do die quite a bit. But I mean, just to show all of my deaths would be able to take up a lot of unnecessary time, and it wouldn't be that entertaining to watch. But some of these are going to be a legit struggle, because the points that I earn for leveling up, and I mean, again, that's not the same thing as the souls you get. You know, you can farm souls anytime for your leveling purposes, but the points you get from killing mini-bosses and bosses, you have to spend them wisely on your levels. So, ultimately, what I plan to do is to level up my strength to around 34 or so, and to level up my intelligence to 50. You know, you can only get so many points, so I won't be able to spend them on things like vitality or endurance or dexterity or anything like that. The point isn't to, you know, do as much damage per second as you can, even though that's really effective on a normal build. It's to do as much damage as you can with just that one push of the R1 or right bumper or what have you. The run is going to need a lot of prep work as far as getting what I need. As I approach the Undead Burg here, there's a few things I'm going to buy that are, going to help me near the beginning of the run a lot, but there's going to be a ton of farming for upgrade materials that will eventually include, and I kind of dread this, is the dragon scale farming. Ugh, it's not going to be easy. Oh, I mean, it's going to take some time. It won't be too difficult to farm for them. It's just going to be very tedious and very time consuming. And as you can see, there was a Gravelord sign in the Burg at Soul Level 1 base weaponry. And I pointed down at it not to insult or anything. It's just kind of like, watch out for those. They're a net cast out for new players to trap them into invading over and over again, getting aggravated at the most likely twinked out host. Yeah. Don't fall for that unless you just want to see if you can take him out, because it's probably going to have some kind of one-shot build ready to take you down.
Thank you, kind.
But that's about all I have to say about the run. I mean, other than the few rules set out, that's pretty much it. I'm going to have counters on the screen every time I kill a boss or mini-boss that's going to keep track of the total amount of points I've accumulated and the total amount I've used at that point. I'm going to try to get as far into the challenge without leveling up as I can. I don't want to level up until it's absolutely necessary. So until then, I mean, you can upgrade any weapon you want to wield however you want to. There's no limitations on that. I get the reinforced club to start off with because a pyromancer, I think their strength, like starting strength is like 12, and dex is only 9, and there's a lot of these starting weapons that require like at least 10 dex, as well as some of the shields too, if I'm not mistaken. So you're limited in what all you can actually use, and for this particular build, oh yeah, and I'm gonna show a little shortcut into the lower Undead Burg. You can't normally reach it unless you kill the Taurus demon first, but if you do what I'm showing here, you can kind of glitch your way down into it. Fairly common knowledge now, but I mean, if you've never seen it done before, then there you go. And I'm going to briefly show kind of how I survived this encounter with an unleveled up, unupgraded weapon character. And yeah, what was I talking about? I'm losing my train of thought here. Oh well, it'll come back to me. So yeah, kind of showing the strategy for getting through this area. I'm kind of I'm going to end up being a glass cannon, but the cannon part hasn't really taken effect yet, so I'm just kind of a little field mouse having to barely gnaw away at my enemies or run for safety and stuff like that, and just try my best to avoid damage. If you get behind that fire, you can kind of which it wasn't going as planned at this point. I was hoping they would all jump straight into it, but they were a little privy to what I was doing, so I have to kind of improvise here. That dog's ugly snout right in my face. I jumped back around the fire to try and get them to come back around, and I jumped back behind it. And thankfully the hollow thieves took the bait, and they all jumped in it, and I wasn't worried about just one dog, even though he proved to be a agile little sucker, as they are. Oh yeah, what I was talking about before is you can use any weapon you're able to wield, but starting out at level 1, your choices are pretty limited. So the most damage you can do with a weapon is going to be the reinforced club. It has higher damage output than, like, say, the battle axe or the regular club or the hand axe, to name a few of the weapons that the pyromancer can actually use at the base level. Yeah, that was pretty much that whole thought that I was trying to convey there. So anyway, I freed Griggs because I want to buy the magic weapon sorcery from him to use for a little while. I won't be using it for long, but it'll help with the first few mini-boss kills that I come across until I'm able to make a run down into the catacombs to upgrade my reinforced club with fire. And of course, before I do any of that, I'm going to end up going down to Blighttown and farming the slugs for green Titanite shards and regular Titanite shards and getting all of the soul items I can get. Because obviously I'm going to die a lot in this run. I'm going to lose my souls a lot. So it'll be very handy to have all those soul items, you know, on my person if I need a little bit to top myself off for something. Like here, where I go to buy a magic weapon from Griggs, and I'm short 1,000 souls. So I just pop a few soul items, and there you go. Have at it. It's very handy to start out as, you know, part of the Pyromancer starting stats that are also very handy, as well as the 12 strength, is the 10 intelligence, because that is the bare minimum you need for Griggs to offer to teach you any type of sorcery. So anyway, that about wraps it up. Stay tuned for more of the one-shot boss challenge, and until then, y'all take care.